Well, I agree, and we could see it again tomorrow. And the good news is the skies are just clear enough for those who want to take in some streaking meteors. Now, here's a look at our satellite and radar, and you can see the skies over the city as well as parts of the valley fairly clear. I do have a great photo to share with you. Check that out. Yes, the Geminids meteor shower, that was out of the Wasilla-Palmer area tonight. George Seacat snapped this image, and good luck to those out there tonight trying to catch this celestial show.
Alaska is shattering records this year. Today, the Alaska Earthquake Center announced in a tweet that the state surpassed the previous record in 2014 for the most earthquakes in a single year. Joining us with a breakdown of what all this shaking means, as well as new efforts to detect earthquakes, is our own Jackie Purcell.
Well, Rebecca, the previous record was set in 2014 with 40,600 earthquakes in Alaska. Today, the Alaska Earthquake Center says we surpassed that record with 40,733 earthquakes and with 18 more days to go into the year. So according to the Alaska Seismic Hazards Safety Commission, Alaska's home to 11% of the world's earthquakes, with an average of 1,000 shakers every month. And while many of those do go unnoticed, scientists now have a new high-tech earthquake detection tool in use across remote stretches of the state.
Good evening, everybody, and thanks for joining us here. It's quite a turnout. This is, I'm not sure how many people were expecting to show up tonight, but this is great to see all these folks here interested in learning more about the Earthscope project.
We start our story here at the Campbell Creek Science Center's series of fireside chats, where the U.S. Array project was detailed to an audience that could hear about the challenging weather and mosquito-infested installation sites while enjoying a nice fireplace and relaxing. This past summer, the last of 193 seismic stations, or HUTs, was installed in Alaska, making it a part of 280 instruments that covers Alaska and Northwest Canada, and it's the last links in a grid that covers the lower 48 as well. It started in 2004.
The project here in Alaska has been the last several years of this 15-year project.
It's a $40 million project with each hut or enclosure holding seismic sensors and batteries, along with a lightweight drilling system that is sometimes trucked, flown, but mostly delivered by helicopter.
That hooks up to a helicopter sling. It all goes out to a station in one helicopter load. We unpack it, put the sensor in the ground, and by the time we've got it there, since we've done all this other preparation beforehand, it's basically running the minute we get the system put in.
A lightweight drilling system was key to transport to the sites and get a good hole to safely ensconce the sensors in the ground. Older sensors sat on concrete pads.
So by putting the sensor down in this borehole, that's made the sensor much, much quieter and lets us see the signals better.
These new instruments can also detect infrasound or atmospheric acoustics, like a thunderstorm passing by or a volcanic eruption. This data came in handy when one station went down with no warning, but scientists could see some seismic rumblings like heavy footsteps.
The bear had just gotten really upset for some reason that we were imposing on its territory and decided to just yank all the cables out.
We determined that bears are anti-science.
The main focus is to study seismology and map the Earth's crust.
So we can get a better handle on what faults are active, how they move. That gives us some idea of how plate tectonics work.
The Alaska Earthquake Center and National Weather Service in Alaska is benefiting from this new data stream as well. 132 of these installations provides temperature, pressure, wind speed, and direction observations.
Think of all the air charter and air traffic. All the villages are relying on good weather data and good weather data in the forecasts.
I've been pinching myself all summer that I was that lucky to be part of this project.
Seismologist Casey Adderhold says the new array is feeding in so much information and free to the public that the next 2 years will be a steep learning curve.
You know, we're going to see some really interesting stuff. What's down there, what other things we can detect, you know, it's just going to be really exciting.
Already, the data are contributing to improved weather forecasts and improved seismological understanding in Alaska.
The U.S. Transportable Array is expected to be dismantled in 2019, unless the state or other interested agencies purchases some of these instruments. And as I mentioned, a lot of scientists are excited that they at least will be around through 2019. So a lot of data to be looking through. Rebecca.
Now, Channel 2 weather with meteorologist Jackie Purcell.
Good evening, everyone. I didn't get a chance to show that late last week, but those ice chunks are huge.
Wow.
And that is along the Yukon River at Eagle. Late last week, as the ice was starting to break up, thank you to Ann and Gary Millard and for sending that in. Here's a look at your current temperatures in the Anchorage metro area. It's been pretty pleasant temperature-wise. Yeah, we've had a lot of cloud cover, but we still see the sun occasionally. It's 58 degrees from the Campbell Creek Science Center, and we have 57 degrees from Muldoon, moving into Jay-Bear as well as Eagle River, 49 and cooler out for Girdwood. Well, we're going to continue to see this area of low pressure slowly slide away from the state over the next couple of days, but there will still be a trough of low pressure hanging into the interior, so there's a chance of some scattered afternoon thunderstorms. You know the seasons are changing when those thunderstorms start to fire up in the afternoon into the interior. This area of cloud cover could produce some 1 to 2 inches of snow as it gets into the Anaktuvik Pass area and the higher elevations of those Brooks Range locations. Here's a look at the current radar. Over the last 3 hours, scattered showers into the interior, southwest Alaska, and then showing up here across the south central area. There's a closer look in at some of the heavier showers that might be occurring, but pretty much in between those communities. Stevens Village, just to your south, you're seeing some scattered showers, and that's rain showers. Into Fairbanks, though, pretty nice night. But you can see those showers again collecting just to their south and east. Eagle, you were the hot spot for the state today, 66 degrees, and Atkasuk down to 20 for the cold spot across the state. But it was still pretty nice. 61 for Fairbanks. That was their high temperature today, 63 in McGrath. We had the 30s and 40s across northwest Alaska, warming up to the 50s for Bethel and Dillingham, and also Cold Bay today, hitting 52 degrees. And out towards St. Paul, you were at 40. Northway hit 60 in Juneau, and Panhandle locations staying into the upper 40s and low 50s. We are going to be warming up, maybe not necessarily in the next 24 hours or even in the next 48. But this area of high pressure, I'm going to keep my finger on you because we want to push you right into the south central area. This should do a nice job of giving us some sunshine Thursday, Friday, and into the weekend even. It looks as though we're going to be seeing that nice weather. There are some flurries, some freezing fog along the Arctic coast. There will be the same for the Prudhoe Bay area. High temperatures tomorrow will be into the 20s. We'll go to the 30s around Anaktuvik Pass. With that snowfall in the outlook, in Bettles, you'll be up into the 50s with some sunshine there. 36 in Kotzebue, winds at a northwest 5 to 15 miles per hour. Scattered afternoon thunderstorms in the interior, but you know, it's kind of a mix. Clouds, sunshine, warm temperatures up to 62 for Fairbanks tomorrow, and the upper 50s for a lot of those other locations. In the west coast, we're going to be seeing variable winds, just 10 miles per hour, and a high of 58 for Bethel, 59 in Dillingham. It's still a little slower to warm up around Gamble, 34 for their daytime high, but sunshine, they get it a couple of days before we do as that high pressure starts to build in. The Aleutians and the Alaska Peninsula, rain showers, limited sunshine. Winds are out of the south, 10 to 25 miles per hour between Adak and Unalaska. And for southeast Alaska, partly sunny skies coming your way. Actually pretty nice weather for, yes, as we start off the week, Tuesday. We'll be seeing clouds and a few showers across the south central area and the Matanuska-Susitna Valley. Winds, no, not too bad, 10 to 15 miles per hour through the evening. Around Whittier, 5 to 10 miles per hour out of the east. But here is where the news gets good, if you like, warm May conditions. Sunshine coming our way on Thursday. Friday, and it looks like we're going to be nice on Saturday. Sunday, a roll around of clouds will bring us a chance of showers, one of our best chances in a while, actually. But there it is. So 1 of 6 days might give us a little wet weather coming our way. So we started watering our lawn here in the Midtown area because it was.
You did?
Yeah, because
ours
it was
is
so dry.
still really wet up there.
Is it?
And we can't walk on it because it leaves all kinds of, yeah.
I don't know if that's proper, but we did.
You'll find out if it freezes again. No.
If you're a gardener and I'm not supposed to do that,
Let
you
her
let me know.
Okay, thanks.
Check out that cutie pie. Yes, one that lives in the harsh elements. So and looks so gorgeous doing it, doesn't he? And you know what? I love it when the temperatures get a little bit colder. You can see that reflected in the snow because it looks like little diamonds in the snow. I think that's great when the temperatures cool off. And we get the moon and clear skies. So yes, thank you to Fabian von Imhoff for sending us that beautiful shot. Check out the Big Dipper. Isn't that beautiful?
Oh, wow.
Can you make it out?
Oh, yes.
But wait till I pull it out. Look how beautiful that is.
That's gorgeous. Where is that?
Cordova's Boat Harbor. It just looks like a lane that you could just serenely go down, almost like Christmas, doesn't it? Thank you to Christian Moistner for sending that in. Check out who's prowling around town. Yeah, a little red fox. This was seen in the Anchorage area. Amy Bragg sending that in and sharing it with the state of Alaska. Beautiful sunrise out of China Poot Bay. It sounds a little funny, doesn't it? But that is definitely the name. That's across the bay from the Homer Spit, so you could probably see that mountain. Thank you to David Daly for sending us that shot. If you're flying into Anchorage, you would not be alone. A lot of college students heading into the Anchorage area, as well as other travelers, but thank you to Tony Perry for sending us that view from above the clouds. Check out, I think this is fairly dramatic. That's 5 of 7 wolves spotted around Pedro Bay. They've been heard howling around town. Verna Jean Koyaha sending us this photo, and she said she put up the wildlife cam because it's been warm, so they were concerned about bears, but this is what's been around their village, so do be careful out there. A view of the city from amongst the icebergs, but you know what? I've come up with a new name for those things. I'm going to call them tidebergs. Because they come in with the tide, don't
I
they?
like it, Jackie. Just make it up. I love it.
It's going to be a new meteorological term. I'll have to submit it to the higher ups there. Tidebergs. And thank you to Haji Mahmoud for sending us that beautiful shot. Mike, we're going to start you off with some very strong winds. And yes, so strong that they push not only vehicles off the roadways in Quinnahock, also some four-wheelers with people on them. So those winds were up to 70, 80 miles per hour in the morning hours. Hope Brown sent us this photo. Those winds are expected to come down a bit, so calm down just a bit, but still very strong winds through the Bristol Bay area. This past week, some higher elevation winds led to the formation of lenticular clouds. So those are formed and really kind of don't drift. They are formed and stay stationary for the most part. But beautiful sunrise, Jamie Lyons caught that. And Denise was the one that said, what type of clouds are these? And Denise, there's your answer, lenticular clouds.